Okay, remember that they're changing my voice. This video is about Micah 7. It's called Israel's Misery. Now keep in mind, Israel of this world is part of Babylon's system. So it's talking about the end no matter how you slice it. And of course, the people who you think of as Jews, who are really of the synagogue of Satan, they have kind of merged with people in terms of intermarrying with them, in terms of their spirits and nations, what have you. So there's a lot of ways that you can come to that irrefutable conclusion. So let's go and get into Micah 7. What misery is mine? I am like one who gathers summer fruit at the gleaning of the vineyard. There is no cluster of grapes to eat, none of the early figs that I crave. So it's talking about the fruits of the vineyard, right? The people. We see in Isaiah 5, okay, I think it's around 5:7, where it says, the vineyard of the Lord was the nation of Israel, and the vines that he delighted in were the people of Judah. So they don't have the fruits of righteous people that are craved by God and the righteous, the prophets, what have you. It goes on to say, the faithful have been swept from the land. No upright person remains. Everyone lies in wait to shed blood. They hunt each other with nets. Now let's stop there. It's interesting, when you read this, if you were to read the Bible through, this will go in one ear and out the other. You have to kind of piece it together. It's saying that everyone lies in wait to shed blood. Everyone outside the divine order. So the prophets in the Spirit of God, he's looking at the masses of people in the world in his vision, and he sees that everyone is lying in wait to shed blood. They hunt each other with nets. Does this line up with Matthew 10:22? Yes. You will be hated by everyone because of me, but the one who stands firm to the end will be saved. So only those who obey God through me are in the Spirit of God to be saved. So everyone's hating the righteous. They're lying in wait to shed blood. They hunt each other with nets. That's part of the snares and the traps. Right? Terror and pit and snare await you, people of the earth. People of the earth, Isaiah 24. That's part of what is going on there. Their paths, their ways, they're after each other. Both hands are skilled in doing evil. So they accepted the mark of the beast on their hand, and their hands are skilled in doing evil. Right? And the 666 is said to be the number of humanity, right? A man's number, the number of humanity. And the 666 talent gold tax, right? They're talents, right? They're skilled in doing evil, they're crafts, right? They're mere scientists, they're mere, military people, corporate people. They're people who are trained in the ways of the earth, like the churches and the mosques and synagogues and all these groups that the governing class doesn't cancel. The rulers demand gifts. The judge accepts bribes. The powerful dictate what they desire. They all conspire together. The word being used is conspire. So if you don't think that there's a great conspiracy, you're obviously not someone who believes in the Bible, what have you. The best of them is like a briar, the most upright worse than a thorn hedge. The day God visits you has come, the day your watchmen sound the alarm, right? So people are supposed to sound the alarm. The alarm is a play on words for lay arm, and lay ram, and all ram, and so on and so forth. And Allah room, right? Our magic, right? So people who do not live by the Spirit of God, but come into the magic of organized religion or spiritual groupings or any other way or path, but obeying God through me. Goes on to say, now is the time of your confusion. Confusion, right? Alarm, lay ram, confusion. So the watchmen are saying, hey, people have invalid marriages. They're in the spirit of evil. Okay, they're outside the divine order. They're not obeying God through me. Okay, now your watchmen aren't doing their job, like it says in Isaiah or Jeremiah, where it says that they aren't doing their job, that they're just like drunkards, they're idiots, what have you. Do not trust a neighbor, put no confidence in a friend. Even with the woman who lies in your embrace, guard the words of your lips. So it's saying, be careful what you say. For a son dishonors his father. The word being used is dishonor. Remember, I said that all these other religions and martial arts styles, what have you, they're dishonored, right? They're disgraced, they're defeated, they're ashamed, right? For a son dishonors his father. A daughter rises up against her mother. A daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. A man's enemies are the members of his own household. But as for me, I watch and wait. I watch and hope for the Lord. I wait for God, my Savior, my God will hear me. Next section is titled Israel Will Rise. Keep in mind that I'm the gate, right? It's talking about Israel, Jerusalem, Zion with God, not those places, those physical places in this world. Do not gloat over me, my enemy. Though I have fallen, I will rise. Though I sit in darkness, the Lord will be my light. So I'm in the light of God. Isaiah 51:4 says it's a light of justice. We'll see how it's also a light of righteousness, which goes back to the throne being established in righteousness. Proverbs 16:12, New Living Translation, justice. Or is it the other way around? Kings detest wrongdoing, for a throne is established in righteousness. Yeah, New Living Translation, justice. Yeah, that should be what that is. Okay. Because I have sinned against him, I will bear the Lord's wrath until he pleads my case and upholds my cause. So him, not me, because I'm blameless. The prophet Micah is saying that he's going to wait for God, and God is going to uphold his cause. So my cause is people obeying God through me to get to heaven. That is key. That is an inseparable part of my cause. And God is upholding my argument, my cause, my ways, my paths. He will bring me out into the light. I will see his righteousness. So it's a light of righteousness, right? Micah 7 verse 9. It's a light of justice. Isaiah 51:4. Okay, it's the light of the Lord. Micah 7 verse 8. Then my enemy will see it and be covered with shame. So when you look at this, they're changing my videos, changing the sound of my voice. Okay, they're covered with shame. They can't bear their shame, and they're crying. In their spirits, they're crying, and they're whining, and they're whimpering, and they're acting like sniveling worms, and they just can't bear their shame. So they want people to change the way I look, change the way I sound. They have people acting very weird to try to make themselves feel better about themselves. And they're trying to use mind control on themselves, and their brains aren't working very well. They can't really enjoy their life, because as you shut down reality, your brain doesn't work very well, right? Your brain is like a muscle. It's all connected. There's different components, right? The frontal lobe, the cerebrum, cerebellum, the cortices, okay, the thalamus, the hippocampus, and so on and so forth. Then my enemy will see it and be covered with shame. She who said to me, where is the Lord your God? My eyes will see her downfall. Even now she will be trampled underfoot like mire in the streets. So as women are choosing, well, females, they're not really women, they're choosing money and conformity, and they're going to the church instead of obeying God through me. They're going to synagogues and mosques and spiritual groupings and Hindu temples, Buddhist temples, any religion you can think of, right? Shinto, anything you can think of. Okay, they're atheists, they're this, they're that, they're just, communists. Okay, they're basically saying that they don't see God in me. They're saying by their actions, where is the Lord your God? They don't see the righteousness. They don't see the justice. They're just some kind of idiot. And so they deserve to be trampled. So it says that with my eyes, my spiritual vision, my being, my eyes, one way or another, I will see her downfall. Even now she will be trampled underfoot like mire in the streets. And we see none of these females have really appeal anymore, because they're trampled for cheating me out of my right to lead first and foremost, which was the only way to get the spiritual nourishment from God, is to obey God through me. The day for building your walls will come, the day for extending your boundaries. And that day people will come to you from Assyria and the cities of Egypt, and from Egypt to the Euphrates, and from sea to sea, and from mountain to mountain. Okay, so it's talking about it in a way that's figurative, right? The spirits of the righteous who were in Assyria, who were in Egypt, people who were lost. There's a lot of different ways to look at it, okay? This is part of why I don't like the Bible. Some parts are a little bit more tricky, like that one. Well, one thing that clears it up, and they like this tactic where people like me who interpret the right way get frustrated, and then in a few verses, in this case the next verse, it kind of clears it up. It says the earth will become desolate because of its inhabitants as the result of their deeds. Okay, the earth will become desolate, right? Because of its inhabitants as a result of their deeds. We see in Isaiah 34, it says that chaos and desolation is reserved for the wicked, right? The burning lake of sulfur is chaos and desolation. So it's talking about the earth being transformed into hell more and more. We see in Isaiah 24, it says the earth sinks never to rise again, and it talks about terror and pit and snare awaiting the people of the earth. And we see earlier in this chapter, it says the faithful have been swept from the land, No upright person remains. Everyone lies in wait to shed blood. They hunt each other with nets. So people are hunting each other in the spirit, right? The motion, the process of hunting each other, living by the principles of hunting each other at a greed, right? I mean, this is a planet that rejected me, and I don't, toot my own horn, so to speak, and if you consider it that, I don't do it for no reason. I'm praising God Almighty, and I'm giving myself my rightful place because that's the point of reference God set apart to be the rightful point of reference, to be the right point of reference. And God testifies on my behalf as I, convey the Spirit of God in various ways over the years. And it's overkill by these people sabotaging my videos and not even trying to debate me about my challenge, not accepting my challenge, even though thousands and thousands and tens of thousands of people by now are aware of my top martial arts challenge, representatives from Muslims, Christians, what have you. And when you look at the difference between my father and other brain surgeons, like you see token minority, like Ben Carson, no offense to anybody, he's like a token minority, right? He's like, Carlton, Chris Rock, Kevin Hart, he's a token minority. My father, mighty warrior, Igbo, royal family from the royal family of Dr. Martin Luther King's tribe, there's a big difference. Worked his way up penniless as an African, okay, and to not take me seriously is insane. Even if you didn't believe that I am what I obviously am, which is Christ, it would be insane to not take me seriously in terms of debating me. You don't come at this, you don't form a group of shallow people and conformists who obey the state, and then look at someone who's uncontrolled opposition, the son of two doctors, one a brain surgeon, and say, hey, we don't have to debate you. Your arguments don't prove anything. When people do that, they're conceding my point by their actions. Why avoid the debate? Why would you pretend it's not significant? And you're having all kinds of podcasts, all kinds of airheads. It's just very clear that I'm right and there's some kind of cowards.